Welcome back to another episode of PetroTalk, where we talk about everything about petroleum. Today we have Dale Reimer from AFD. Dale, how are you doing today?
Great.
So tell us a little bit about AFD and what AFD does.
Well, AFD is a solutions provider for industrial fuel distribution. We've been around 35 years. We service Western Canada and Alaska.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of AFD and how it kind of started?
History of AFD obviously came from humble beginnings. It started with single owner, started delivering fuel, started working with brokers. Back then, the fuel industry was quite different. Took on a partnership, grew the business, and expanded not only its model of delivering direct to end users, but delivering tank solutions as well.
And what's been your history in AFD?
My history, I've been with AFD just over 16 years. Started with AFD back in 2008, growing the business and working with the business ever since. I worked all the way through the branches, if you will.
Started as a driver, right?
Started as in the shop.
In the shop, okay.
You betcha. So I spent 6 months in the shop, then I moved into safety, then I took over transportation, in distribution, then went over to the tank division, worked in the tank division, came back and started higher level operations, worked throughout the company over the years, trying my best to grow and keep up as we grew immensely over the years. And then finally now I did R&D for a while, working with tank designs, obviously fuel management systems.
Right.
And then I moved into my current role as president.
And how long have you been doing that?
I've been president since 2020.
So as the president of AFD, what are the day-to-day operations like?
Day-to-day is trying to meet our mission of making sure that no customer ever runs out of fuel, keeping everybody operating, because we know that fuel is a complex challenge. Making sure that the customers don't have to worry about it is our goal every day.
So SCI has kind of helped with that process of making sure that the customer doesn't run out of fuel and that your operations go a lot more smoother, right?
100%. So from level monitoring in the tanks, making sure we know how much product is in our customers' tanks. Obviously, our systems are put in place to make sure that we know how long it takes to get more product to them. And then managing the entire process on site for distribution into all of the equipment is key for us and obviously what SCI has been working with us on.
So what are some of the immediate benefits that AFD noticed after integrating SCI's technology?
Efficiency with the truck fleet, the delivery fleet, making sure that we go with the maximum amount of product to every location. The pieces that are very important to us is obviously efficiency, always making sure the tires are turning and they're doing the right work, and obviously making sure that there's no lost miles is a big thing for distribution. The next piece is ensuring that everything is moved safely. So the right amount of fuel gets transferred into the tanks. You're not in a position of overfilling and preventing any mixes. To me, those are the biggest challenges we face in distribution. The minute you have a mix, the minute you have a spill, the minute you have any challenges on site, normally comes with quite the price tag.
So SCI has kind of helped with their technologies to implement different things to make sure that, there's no fuel mixes, the fuel is being delivered on time, the customer is receiving the fuel on time and when it's needed. So how do you make sure that the right product is going into the right tank and that there's no mixes between the two products?
We have the density sensors in each of the trucks, in each of the compartments. When we get to site, we scan the tanks to make sure that we connect the tank to the truck system. What that'll then do is it will now understand the product that's in the tank and in the compartment. And if it sees a compartment move that shouldn't be moving, it shuts the pumps down on the truck.
Okay, so this is more of a human error. So if somebody is putting the wrong fuel type into the wrong tank, it'll automatically, or it actually won't even activate the pump?
Well, as soon as it sees a level monitor change that shouldn't, it will stop the process. So for example, let's say we're filling a diesel tank, and for some reason a gasoline compartment starts to pump, and the level monitor sees a change in the gasoline side versus the diesel, it will stop immediately. And what makes that possible is the extreme accuracy of the level probes that are inside. It will see a single millimeter move and make a change, and it records that and makes a decision, which obviously if it's the wrong product, it will stop. And a millimeter change inside of any compartment it won't get into the tank. We will still have that contained inside of the plumbing and the hoses.
Okay, so that same level monitoring system will prevent overflows by, as soon as it reaches a certain tank capacity, will shut off the filling of the tank, right?
Correct. So once the tank, as you're filling and everything is dropping on the truck and the system is still green and everybody's happy with what's happening, when the tank reaches its maximum fill, which can be individually set by region or even by jurisdiction, it will automatically stop the truck, which will then obviously prevent any possible overfills.
How does AFD benefit from seeing real-time data coming from the different technologies that you've integrated?
The goal that we started 2 years ago was to be able to not only get the efficiencies in our fleet, to prevent incidents, preventing mixes, preventing spills, but to provide an experience to the customers that no other can provide. And part of that whole process is immediate billing. So the minute fuel is delivered, the invoice will ultimately be generated automatically and sent to the customer. The other piece is giving the customer updates on how things are going. We have some customers that are very ingrained, they're very in tune, they want to know exactly what's happening, when is fuel coming to site, when has it been loaded, when is it going to be on site, all those types of things. The system will be able to provide those updates. And then for others, they just want to know, is fuel coming, and what's the ETA, and when was it delivered? So we're able to tailor the system to each customer and provide notifications to their likings.
Yeah, because fuel is money, and if you have money sitting and not being used, then it's being wasted.
Well, it's not even, it's fuel sitting for sure, 100%. You want to make sure that you have the fuel on site to do the work that you're there to do. Parking equipment on site is a very expensive endeavor. Many pieces of equipment are well over the hundreds of dollars an hour. And if they don't have fuel to operate and you start stopping jobs, that's quite a challenge for our customers. So we don't want to ever put them in that position. So fuel will not be a concern for them.
Tell us a little bit how you know when a customer is running low on fuel, and how you know as the fuel distribution company when they're in need of fuel and how much they need.
So in the beginning, there's a process where we meet with the customer, understand what their highs and lows will be throughout the project, and we try to set them up with the right tanks or the right amount of fuel, if you will, so it's not a day-to-day challenge. Once we have the right equipment placed, then we have our fuel monitors going in there, and it's giving us updates on how much fuel is being burnt and when. So that will provide us, updates as often as we like. But we normally do multiple readings a day to see if their burn rates are increasing, decreasing, which stage of the project are they in. And then we have our lead times to get to site. And whenever we're less than 24 hours, it's deemed critical. And in different levels there that warn our dispatching team that we need to get a load going to this location.
So using those tank level monitoring systems, based on their fuel usage, you can also create a prediction about how much fuel they have left and when they'll be running out of that fuel. So you guys can better manage yourselves to deliver that fuel on time.
So if a customer slows down, we can delay the delivery truck. And if they've started consuming more, we can send the delivery truck early.
What are the different fuel management systems that you currently have installed in AFD?
So we're currently running three different models. We have a light system that is used for smaller locations, maybe 1 or 2 tanks, fueling up, smaller equipment, smaller tanks that can be used on bobcats, landscaping, all kinds of different smaller projects, farms, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cost-effective way to secure your fuel and be able to have transaction data on where your fuel went. A lot of small tanks in the industry today largely go unmonitored. And in this case, when we're using the light, we can come in and use the light as a monitor as well. So we'll be able to put in our opening or starting levels in the tank, and we'll use the transaction data to provide dispatch updates on tank levels and things like that. And great option for going into, again, smaller projects that need a cost-effective way to manage their fuel usage and security. The second system we use is what we call a non-resale or a project system capable of handling many tanks and many fueling positions. Depending on the size of the project, can be tailored up to as many positions as we want ultimately, but up to 4 per tank. And now this gives, again, the ability for either the prime contractor or the contractors on site to manage where their fuel is going and in what units it's being distributed in. We also will still have monitors in there.
Mm-hmm.
On the bigger tanks, it's more accurate than using transaction data, but on the bigger tanks, because meters aren't always perfect in the non-resale side, it really gives us both ways. One, we can provide distinctive reporting to the construction people, to the people using the system, and we still have our monitors that provide us updates on tank levels and so on. Then the last piece we use is a resale system. Again, much like the second system, it allows us to tie in as many meters as we want that are calibrated and set up for resale at the nozzle versus when we're filling the tank. And then we also have the ability to add different readers to accept Visa, MasterCard, debit, all the different payment methods, allowing the public to use it, or on specific projects where the prime doesn't want to pay for everybody's fuel.
Mm-hmm.
This will allow us to sell the fuel to all of the individual contractors at a pre-assigned rate with the prime, and give them that flexibility.
What kind of communication type are you using?
So we have 2 types. Again, it's really based on where we are.
Mm-hmm.
We can plant a system virtually anywhere. We have the ability to use cellular communication when needed, and when we're ultra remote where there's no communication, we go satellite.
What are the main differences between the light and the top of the line system?
The light is a small package. It just has enough to run 1 or 2 pumps, 1 or 2 fueling positions. Sometimes you can. It won't have the same fobs or the same access devices.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is really designed around cost effectiveness.
The authorization type, you mean?
Agreed. Yeah, you can have a PIN number you can assign to each of your people. They can just type in a PIN number or use a Dallas key style reader.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you get up into the fancier, bigger systems, we need to do more robust fob systems like HID, RFID, and Visa, MasterCard, credit, debit, those types of things. So all of those come with different layers of security and different expectations from providers, including the people that authorize the Visa, MasterCard, credits of the world, debits.
Thanks for being on the show, Dale. I'm sure we'll be having you here in future episodes. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll see you at the next episode.